When did it become so expensive to shop at farmers markets?
Like, is that normal or did I get ripped off?
I went to the farmer's market and bought a $16 tomato.
So today's video is kind of a part 2 from the last one on this channel. We talked about food festivals and how overpriced it was, and at the end of the video I had a clip talking about the farmers markets as well. And oh man, were there a ton of responses from you guys like this. How about farmers markets nowadays are a ripoff? So I thought we should dive a little bit deeper into the prices along with what it's become in most areas. We have a lot of clips to go over along with some of my own experiences with my local market and some comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's just start off with this one.
All right, so I just got back from the farmer's market and live in Denver, Colorado for context. And I got 2 things from one stall and spent $18.20. So let me show you my haul for $18.20. We have one beautiful heirloom tomato and cherries. Like, is that normal or did I get ripped off?
I would say that's pretty overpriced, but we're going to see a lot of clips very similar to that today, along with many comments from you guys like this. My farmer's market is completely out of control right now. There's only a handful of items that are fair price. There's $14 watermelon, $5 bag of 15 green beans, $7 for 5 peaches. And before we get into the rest of the video, I don't want to come across as just hating all farmers in general, just because the prices are going to be typically higher than what you see at the grocery store. I know it's near impossible to be able to compete with those stores like Walmart, Publix, Harris Teeter, any of them, especially when you just have a family-run farm. Along with the current economic and political issues that I know all of you have probably heard about a million times, it's very difficult to run a farm right now. But in these times where people are trying to spend as little as possible, living paycheck to paycheck with this high cost of living, it just doesn't make the farmer's market a viable option for many people nowadays. I would also like to add that there are more vendors at these markets that aren't actually farmers and grow their own produce. They just buy it from a wholesaler and resell it to us for a higher price, making it look like they're just another farmer. But we'll get to that a little bit later in the video. Up next, we just have an absolutely ridiculous clip. I hope it is satire, to be honest, because this is just out of control.
I went to the farmer's market and bought a $16 tomato. Check this out. Your hype organic small batch tomato is grown with gentle farming practices which include naturally occurring rainwater sprinkled to mimic the precipitation cycle, sound levels kept below 55 decibels, no tractors, planted with bamboo tools, exposed to live music and affirmations daily, grown in heirloom soil. The unique portrait of your tomato is drawn on our locally made hemp bag with ethically raised Manuka beeswax crayons to promote tomato health after harvesting. And you can see it's not just printed, like they actually drew this tomato. Look at the stem. So now the question is, does it taste like $16? Let's find out. Oh my god. I wouldn't say 16, but I would pay 12 for this again, for sure.
I'm a pretty big fan of tomatoes, but $12, even with how nice that looks, I'm not 100% on board with that one. But we can look at a couple of the comments. This has to be satire with almost 20,000 likes. Nothing worse than an emotionally damaged tomato that's been traumatized by farming equipment. This tomato was not shouted at. We have another comment from one of you guys. I've always wanted to shop more local, but seeing how farmers market have turned, it's not happening. And I think that's how a lot of people think right now, even though when you look at the comments of a grocery haul or somebody showing the high prices in their stores, there are always so many people saying, go to your farmer's market, it'll be cheaper. And then you end up getting clips like this.
The eggs, they're $5 a carton. I posted that egg video and so many of you in the comments were like, go to the farmer's market eggs. They'll be a little bit more expensive, but higher quality. Farmer's market, it won't be that much more expensive. Well, it's Saturday. We went to the farmer's market. Guess how much this carton of eggs was? Guess. $10 for farmer's market eggs. $10. $10 versus the $5 grocery store eggs. Last year, the eggs in the grocery store were $3. My farmer's market eggs were $6.
Now, I know the price of eggs is one of them that everybody likes to compare. At least around where I live, very similar prices at the store, around $5 for a carton. And we're about to see some that are way more expensive, but we can look at the comments first. I got 36 eggs from Walmart for $10. I'm telling you, Costco's, Trader Joe's has eggs for $3.99. The original creator responded saying it's $4.40 by me, but still the cheapest. But I don't think that this compares to the clip up on screen right now. It just had copyrighted music, but excited to find eggs at the farmer's market in LA. Then you start looking looking, a pack of 18 eggs is $18.75, over $1 an egg. The 30 pack right next to it is almost $27. Then we have fertile eggs. A 30 pack is $31. Again, more than $1 each. Way more than the last clip. Another set of comments here go to Costco, 2 dozen for $7.50. They probably get them from Costco and sell them there. We're going to start seeing that very soon. Who's buying these? Is the fruit expensive as well? What are the prices like that? I would imagine it would be pretty overpriced as well. But we have a comment from one of you guys from North Carolina. I lost all respect for my local farmers market, which happens to be the biggest one in Charlotte, with all the stickers on watermelons said grown in Florida on them. But the Whole Foods here has the watermelons grown in the Carolinas. So we could start talking about that a little bit more.
Resellers have officially hit the produce market. It's gone too far. Wrap it up. Jesus and the flood. Because what are we doing? Reselling veggies is actually crazy. Like, I went to the farmer's market with my girlfriend over the weekend. We went to like a smaller neighborhood one, and one of the farmers was saying that he doesn't like to sell at the larger ones because he can't compete with the prices. You're like, oh, you know, supply and demand, whatever. No, people are out there buying like produce wholesale and then selling it, and you're like, oh, what's wrong with that? No, this is a farmer's market, a market for farmers. Now it is practically an open air grocery store. Like, if I wanted to get the grocery store experience of like having the middle person sell me my produce, I would go to the grocery store. This is like, you know, from farm to table. I like, oh my gosh.
Some of the comments here, the produce shouldn't have those stickers on it that I see in grocery stores. They don't even try to hide it from us. They've been doing this at the downtown one for years, drop shipping vegetables, and we have an example of it right here in person.
A little PSA, if you go to a farmer's market and they have PLU stickers on all of their produce, you're not actually buying from a farm, you're actually buying from the wholesaler, and they're getting their same stuff that is from Kroger and Walmart. So you're not actually buying anything different.
I'm even surprised that this is allowed at farmers markets in general, but not even taking the time to peel off the sticker that takes a second to do. Like the comment said earlier, they're not even trying to hide it from us. We have another comment from you guys who went to a farmers market recently for the first time in ages. Got excited over fresh berries. Why was a medium-sized amount of them $20? What is this, Erewhon? I could drive to a Whole Foods down the road and it'll be cheaper. We have a couple screenshots I found as well for a cherry bowl, $15. Probably a very similar price that we saw with the very first clip where the woman just bought an heirloom tomato and some cherries and cost 18 bucks. And then we have another one, a cup of blueberries being $15 as well. So curious how many booths just buy from the grocery store and resell it at a farmer's market. There are tons of comments like this all over. I've spotted some where it's obvious that's what they're doing. Did you not expect grocery store prices? And then the original creator responded, let's not act like $15 is reasonable. Because I understand if it is more expensive than going to Walmart, but there is a line to be drawn along with the possibility of it not even being from a farmer. I have some clips from my local farmer's market, and I am happy to say that walking around, almost every one of the vendors had a sign up saying where their farm was from in North Carolina, and I didn't see a single piece of produce, really anything with the stickers on it. Didn't look like anybody was wholesaling at all, and I just wanted to share some of the prices that I saw. Maybe you can compare to either your local farmer's market or maybe even the grocery store. So we'll start off with the zucchinis. It was anywhere from around $2.29 a pound to $2 a pound. It depended on what you got. Then we have this muscadine grape jelly here for almost $14. So pretty expensive, to be honest. We have some bourbon barbecue sauce in another pint for $12.19. Here's some more of the berries. We have blackberries right here for $5 each. And then we went over to the strawberries. It was $6 for the quart. And then right next to it, you could see the gallon. That was $20. Here's the blueberries as well. Another $5, two for $9. Here are some of the red tomatoes for $3 a pound. They look pretty good, honestly. There are some other vendors that are selling stuff like flowers instead of just produce, and you can see here these bouquets are $30 a pop. Then we have these peaches right here that I believe are spring prints. That might be what they're called. They're 18 bucks. I think that's pretty expensive. We had another vendor here with the strawberries, same price, $20 for the gallon. And then here they had some bread, vanilla pound cake for 16 bucks. Then we have more of the produce. You can see the cucumbers are $2.49 a pound. Here we have some squash at $1.99 a pound. Even more whole grain onions, $3 per bundle. Green or red cabbages are $1.59 a pound. Then we had a lot of different sweet potatoes that were all the same price, $1.59 a pound. They had a few different kinds. I wanted to get a shot of the heirloom tomatoes. These were $5 a pound, which I would still say is a much better deal than the first clip that we saw when she got one single tomato. Here's some broccoli at $2 a pound, and then right next to that is cauliflower at $3 a pound. I don't know who's buying that. Cauliflower is nasty. But we have here some of the raw unfiltered honey. It ended up being $26 for this. Decently expensive for 2 pounds. Here we have one of the vendors making bread. You could see it's anywhere from $7 a loaf up to almost $12. I will be honest though, I've had this before and it is extremely good. Here's a classic just Concord grape jelly. It is homemade and it ended up being $9. Then we had a whole bunch of these peanuts. I believe, yeah, it was 30 ounces. They had honey roasted. It ended up being almost $30. They had several different kinds. It was anywhere from $30 to I think $32. I don't know who's getting dill pickle peanuts though. That's pretty rough. Honey lime there, and then yeah, $31.09. Here we have some tomato salsa that ended up being $10.59, and then right next to it there was an apple salsa that was $11.39. And to finish it off, we saw this combo of blueberries, blackberries, and maybe 2 different types of peaches, or just 2 quarts of the peaches for $30. I mean, what am I supposed to say? I'm comparing it in my head to going to the grocery store, and of course all of this stuff ends up being more expensive. I know virtually everything at the farmer's market is going to taste a lot better than just grabbing it from Target, but you guys can compare and contrast with my local market and what you guys see. But we could take a look at the clip up on screen right now of this farmer's market haul. This woman's blackberries and raspberries were $30 each. Seems pretty rough, but then she had 3 pounds of the raw local honey at $27. I believe I just said it was $24 for 2 pounds for me. Her cow and goat cheese was $12 a piece. 1 pound of beef liver was $17, and some wild yellowtail was $25. Some of the comments here: I hate how eating healthy is genuinely more expensive, $30 for berries. And even though we see a lot of examples of some pretty expensive produce, some people are lucky and are in an area where they could get this type of stuff very cheap.
This is what I got for $48 at the Mennonites Farmers Market. Huge cabbage for $2, 4 massive onions, romaine and some little fruit, 6 peppers, 4 cucumbers, a bunch of little baby cucumbers, 3 hot peppers, 3 yellow zucchini, a half a dozen corn on the cob, and some tomatoes. Everything tastes so fresh and crunchy, and it outlasts the grocery store products by like 4 times. I'm so excited!
So to me, this was one hell of a deal, but overall, I guess you just have to get lucky on where you live. Another comment from you guys: I used to love farmers markets, but now they are exactly that, yuppie meetups with food that's double the price of the same food at the restaurant. And I've seen some odd videos talking about these farmers market stands, because initially we heard it was tough for farmers to be able to make money, so that's why the prices are high. But then you see clips like this where it becomes a side hustle that apparently pays for college.
Hey, this is the side hustle no one is talking about, but everyone literally should be talking about. And that is a farmer's market stand, also known as a produce stand or a roadside stand. College students use this summer side hustle to earn enough income to pay for college tuition, living expenses, and general expenses.
I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that at all. With how expensive college tuition is alone, and all the other expenses that are in life, I highly doubt you're going to make enough money just over the summer, like it's a side hustle or part-time job, to be able to pay for all of it. So I don't know what the motive was to make this video, especially when we see a lot of videos on how difficult it is to make money as a farmer. Just seemed very odd to me. Another comment from one of you guys: we have farmers markets where I work, and somebody was selling $16 grilled cheese sandwiches.
So I work at the farmers market on Saturdays, and I just saw a vendor throw like 2 dozens of pastries in the trash can, like perfectly edible pastries into the trash can, and I will never understand when people do that. Like, if you're gonna talk, like, just give them to vendors, give them to just people. Like, I don't understand that. I got no shame. I took those suckers out of the trash can, and I'm gonna eat them.
So right off the bat, I understand why they're doing it along with this comment. I think there are legal implications of giving them away. I used to work for a food truck that donated a lot of stuff but had to stop when laws changed. I made a video a while ago about product waste where stores were throwing out all inventory, chocolate, food that wasn't even expired because the packaging had Christmas or holiday stuff on it. And it was January 1st, the holiday season's over, so everything has to go for Valentine's Day and then Easter. Just a massive amount of waste, but at the same time there are some rules that you're only allowed to throw them out. But my thought process is if you are able to throw out all of those items at the end of the day or at the end of the weekend, what are the margins in the first place for you to be able to take those losses all the time? Seems like it adds into how overpriced some of these markets have become, but that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.